welcome back to the online music theory course here at the Music Factory. And we've covered a good amount of material so far, and just to kind of recap, we talked about the musical alphabet. We talked about how the steps work to build the major scale. We talked about key signatures. It tells us how many sharps or flats are in each key, so you stay diatonic to that key. We discussed some note durations and types of notes, how long they last for, and also time signatures and how many beats go per measure and how that changes the feel of the song. We discussed also major and minor sound qualities when it comes to a key of the song. So with all that being said, to me that really covers a good understanding of how music is written and translated to one another. It also really shows you a lot about melody and how those major scales work and how they're constructed. We're going to talk a little bit about that third building block I was discussing, which is harmony, is playing more than one note at a time, because the melody line, mostly you're playing a single note line, singing or playing it, but then there's chords. So if you're playing on guitar and you were to play multiple notes at one time, okay, that's a chord. So how do these notes work together? Why do they work together? And how can you make a major chord compared to a minor chord? Also, if you're singing, you're singing along with a choir or choral group, and you have four people singing. What notes are they all singing to kind of make it work? And that's where harmony comes in, and that's what goes a lot of times underneath the melody line is chords, and that's where you get a nice big loud arrangement of beautiful notes that work together. So we're going to talk about what we call the first part of understanding chords, and they're called triads. Most of your chords, when you start out, will only have 3 notes in them, thus the word triad. And these 3 notes are always going to be kind of like when we did the major scale. There's a formula to them that we're always going to pick these from the formula. I'm staying with starting in that key of C, just because again it's a great way to understand there's no sharps or flats in there. I'll give you a couple examples of other keys, but we're staying within that C range to help understand a little bit more. So let's take a look at this very first area here. This is the building block and the formula of creating a major triad or a major chord. So when you pick up the guitar and you jam an A major chord or you jam a C major chord, or on the piano hit a C major chord, this is what's ringing inside of that chord. It's a 3-note combination, and it's always a third apart. So you have your 1, which is the C, your 3 is the E, and your 5, which is the G. So let me talk about these numbers for a second. If I was to count up from C, 3 steps, C, D, E. So it's that third up from there. If I was to count from E to G, E, F, G. It's that third. So this is your formula. No matter what chord you want to play, okay, you pick the 1, 3, and the 5, and you'll build that triad, just like that. Let's go to a hypothetical, just another key, so you can make sure you got it. So if I want to play a D chord, I'm going to go D. What's 3 ahead of D? D, E, F. So I put the F here. F, G, A. That's my next third here. Okay? Now, remember I keep using that word diatonic. If I was to go to that circle of fifths we talked about and check out the key of D, it would tell me the F is sharped in that key. So just like the scale, I got to do the same thing with the chord. So I got to make sure that's F to stay within the key, okay? Because that's what that tells us when we go to our steps. So this would be playing a D major chord, okay? And just like I wrote on the notes, it looks the same way: C, E, G. And that right here, 1, 3, 5, is the formula to create a major chord. Now, some of my guitar students, I know this might not be as much with piano students, but with guitar, people say to me, "Wait a minute, Brian, you say there's only 3 notes in the key of in the C major chord, but wait a minute, I'm hitting 5 strings. I don't get it." When you play a C chord on a guitar, let me read off the notes that I'm hitting within here. First one's a C. Whoop, there's our 1. Next one's an E. Oh, there's our 3rd. Next one's a G. There's our 5th. Next one's a C. Oh, they repeated under the octave. See, next one after that is an E. Oh, it's already in there. So even though I'm playing 5 notes, the only notes I'm playing are still C, E, and G. So it's still sticking in that formula like that. So even though there's 3 notes and you're playing 5 strings, you're just hitting those, and every time you're doing a chord like that. So that's our formula for a major chord. That's what's inside of it. And you saw how I broke it down to a different key or a different chord. As long as I follow 1, 3, 5, we're good to go. Now, let's look at the next type of chord. Let's say we're not in our happy mood anymore. We want to get to our minor, dark, sad feeling song, and we want to pick out a minor chord. Okay, the formula is a little bit different. We're going to now go 1, 3, 5, but the 3, the triad, we have to make sure we flat the second or the third of that scale. So look at my diagram. It goes C, E flat, G, and that would create a minor chord. That would create the C minor chord. So no matter what you do, if you were to go and take another formula, you could make a minor chord from that. So this is actually really nice. I'm going to use this D. This is going to work out cool. Check this out. If I wanted a D minor, I'm going to go D. I'm going to take the major one first. D, F sharp, A. But look at my formula. It tells me I got to flat the third. So watch this. I'm going to go now, bring this down a half step, and now that is a D minor. You have to lower that F sharp, okay, because you're taking this formula. The formula is built off of the major scale. So I took the D major, moved it over here, lowered the third, moving along. I got a D minor. We're going to go to another chord here, another triad that they call augmented. And you already remember this term from the intervals we were doing. Okay, moving along means we want to, just like the we're going to go to another chord here, another triad that they call the formula to make an augmented chord. And you already remember this term from the intervals we were doing, and raising it a half step. Just like the word means, by taking that formula, you will get then the formula to make an augmented chord. So let's is going to be taking the C, E sharp, the top note of the triad, that D again, and raising it a half step. Move it over here, and by taking that formula, you will get then an augmented chord. F sharp. So let's do this along here. You see the C, E sharp, G. But remember, it tells me I got a sharp. I'm going to move it over here. So if my formula says chord that has D, 5, so I got to carry over this F sharp because it's in that key. And then I bring my A over here. Okay. But remember, it tells me I got to sharp the fifth. So if you played a chord that has D, and just like the word diminished means it's smaller, then have to crunch down the formula a little bit. So here would be a C diminished chord. C, and it's called diminished. Flat to third, flat just like the word diminished means to get smaller, we're going to crunch down the let's look at the D, and let's do the same thing. So here would be a C diminished chord. So D, flat to third, typically it's F sharp because we're coming from that major scale, but now we're flatting it, so it goes to an F. Let's look at the D, and let's do the same thing with that. We've been using that as an example underneath. Is natural anyway, so we have to flat it. Typically it's F sharp because we're coming from that major scale, but now we're flatting it, so it goes to an F natural. It'd be a D. And the A, these are four is natural anyway, formulas that you need. So if you play a chord and understanding D harmony. It's how notes work together in unison, and these are four important these come down the line that you need a little bit to start to play and understanding why these formulas are so important. It's and how we use notes work together in unison and that go beyond the major and minor. These come down the line a little bit more to play and understanding why these formulas are so important. And when we use diminished and augmented, there's a purpose for using these that go beyond the major and minor. Diatonic to whatever the key is. The most important stack them on top is the simple rule that that's how now chord, if you're always going to build this triad of the first and you have one person diatonic to whatever the key is, singing the D note, stack them on top, and you got your chord. Another person wants to go ahead and sing the F sharp, a choir is singing together, and you have another singer walks in and they hit the A. I'm going to use the D, singing the D note, okay, all together. There, another person wants to go ahead and sing the F sharp. That key A together. So it sounds great. Another singer walks in and they hit how the chord structure works and the formula. Once again, all together they're in write down harmony. Maybe bring in your teacher if you want to go over this. So take a look at the worksheets that we can put out that can help put this together and have you actually applying it more. Once again, this is some great information to write down. Music you're maybe bring in your teacher if you want to go over this. They really are. Look at the worksheets that we can put out. Different understanding together and have you actually applying it more because augmented. These chords are all throughout music. So you're probably playing them now if you're learning songs and you don't know what they really are.